welcome to Comprehensive English Lab, your complete path to mastering English. To maximize your learning, pause as needed, repeat each sentence, and write down what you hear. This will boost your listening, speaking, and note-taking skills. The full script will appear at the end for you to check. If this helps, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share with friends learning English. Thank you.
How AI is changing creative jobs.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this in-depth edition of Tech and Tomorrow. Tonight, we are talking about one of the biggest shifts happening in the world of work, how artificial intelligence is transforming creative professions. With us are two very experienced guests. First, Liam Carter, a graphic designer and creative director from Sydney. He has worked in advertising agencies for over 15 years and now runs his own studio that mixes traditional and AI-assisted design. Second, Dr. Sofia Nguyen, professor of digital media and lead researcher on generative AI at the National University of Vietnam. She has published several papers on the impact of AI in the creative economy. Thank you both for being here. Let's begin with a broad question. In 2026, how deeply has AI already changed day-to-day work for people in creative fields?
It has changed almost everything, Anna. When I started my career around 2010, the process was slow and very manual. A client asked for a brand identity. I would spend 2 or 3 days sketching ideas on paper, then scanning them, then building digital versions in Photoshop or Illustrator. Every small change took time. Now, in 2026, the first step is completely different. I open an image generation tool, Midjourney, Flux, or one of the newer local models, and I write a detailed prompt. For example, luxury Vietnamese faux restaurant logo, elegant brush script combined with clean sans serif, warm red and gold tones, subtle steam rising from a bowl, high-end minimalist aesthetic, vector style, white background. Within 1 minute, I can have 8-12 quite usable starting points. That speed alone saves me hours every single day.
Liam describes the practical side very well. From the research perspective, we see the same pattern across many creative domains. A 2025 study we conducted with 400 professionals showed that 78% of designers, illustrators, writers, and composers now use generative AI at least once a week. The average time saved on initial concept creation is between 60% and 85% depending on the task. But it is not just visual art. Text-based tools like Claude 3.5, GPT-4o, or Gemini 2.0 produce marketing emails, blog posts, social media captions, and even full scripts in seconds. Music tools such as Suno, Udio, or AVI generate full tracks with vocals and instruments. Video tools like Runway Gen 3 or Kling create short clips from text or still images. The volume of raw creative output that one person can produce has increased dramatically.
That increase in speed and volume sounds like a huge advantage. But many people worry it could make human creatives less necessary. Liam, in your own experience, has AI ever felt like a threat to your livelihood?
Yes, especially between 2023 and early 2025. During that period, freelance platforms were flooded with very cheap AI-generated work. Clients who needed 50 social media posts for $100 would choose AI instead of hiring a junior designer. I lost several regular clients in that wave. I remember feeling quite anxious, wondering if I would need to change careers at 38 years old. But something interesting happened after 2025. Clients started noticing the limitations. AI images often have small mistakes, hands with 6 fingers, text that looks like gibberish, lighting that doesn't make sense, or a general soulless feeling. More importantly, brands realized that when everyone uses the same tools with similar prompts, everything starts looking the same. The market became flooded with generic, trendy visuals. That's When clients came back to people like me, they want something that feels unique, culturally accurate, and emotionally resonant. For example, last quarter I worked with a chain of coffee shops in Ho Chi Minh City. They wanted posters that captured the busy atmosphere of District 1. Motorbikes, street vendors, morning light through old French colonial windows. AI could give me nice compositions, but it kept putting wrong details, European-style bicycles instead of Zime, or people wearing clothes that looked more like Tokyo fashion than Saigon street style. I used the AI versions as rough bases, then spent time fixing proportions, adding authentic textures, adjusting skin tones to local diversity, and creating a color grade that felt warm and nostalgic. The client said it was the first campaign that really feels like home. That human layer still matters a lot.
Our latest survey from November 2025 supports what Liam is saying. We asked 250 marketing managers, would you pay a premium for work that clearly shows strong human involvement after AI generation? 82% said yes, and 67% said they would pay 30-70% more for that human finishing touch. The perception is that pure AI output is fast and cheap but lacks soul, while hybrid human-AI work combines efficiency with authenticity.
So the new model seems to be AI for quantity and speed, humans for quality and meaning. Can you give us more specific examples of how roles are evolving in different creative fields?
Of course. Let's take 4 areas. First, advertising copywriting. Before AI, a team might brainstorm for 2 days to create 15 taglines. Now one person can generate 200 variations in 10 minutes. The copywriter's job has shifted toward curation, refinement, and localization. They check legal compliance, remove cultural insensitivities, match brand voice, and sometimes rewrite only 10-20% of the text. But that 10-20% makes all the difference. A global brand recently told us they reduced their copy team from 12 to 5 people, but those 5 are now much more strategic and better paid. Secondly, film and game concept art. Concept artists used to produce 5,100 rough sketches per project. Today they generate hundreds of AI variations overnight. Select the strongest 10-15, then refine them digitally or by hand. The final hero paintings are still human-made, but the exploration phase is 3-5 times faster. Some studios now have AI prompt engineers whose main job is crafting very precise prompts and blending multiple outputs. Next, music for media. Tools can compose a 60-second ambient track in any genre within seconds. Yet film directors complain that AI music often lacks subtle emotional timing. The exact second when strings should swell or when silence is more powerful than sound. Composers now act more like directors of AI. They generate options, layer them, adjust dynamics, add live instruments, or completely rewrite key sections. The most successful ones spend 70% of their time on arrangement and emotional storytelling instead of writing every note from scratch. Last but not least, illustration for children's books. This area is interesting because parents and publishers are especially sensitive to authenticity. AI can produce cute characters quickly, but children notice when faces look repetitive or expressions feel fake. Many illustrators now use AI for background elements or color studies, then draw the main characters traditionally. One publisher we interviewed said their top-selling books in 2025 were the ones marketed as human heart, AI-assisted.
I can add a personal example from illustration. A friend of mine, who draws for picture books, was struggling in 2024. She started experimenting by using AI to create rough environments, forests, castles, underwater scenes, then tracing and redrawing the characters with her own style. Her productivity doubled, her income increased, and she even won an award last year. She says she feels more creative now because she spends less time on boring backgrounds and more time on expressions and small storytelling details.
This all sounds quite optimistic. But what about beginners? Young people just starting in creative fields? Is there still space for them, or is the door closing?
It is tougher than before, but not impossible. The old path, learn software, build portfolio, get junior job, slowly gain experience, is less reliable. Many entry-level tasks, simple banners, basic product photos, generic copy are now handled by AI at very low cost. My advice to students is to build 3 core strengths. Cultural and emotional intelligence, understanding what makes people from different backgrounds feel seen and moved. Storytelling and concept development, the ability to turn a vague client brief into a powerful narrative. Mastery of AI as a creative partner, knowing how to write excellent prompts, blend outputs from different models, fix common AI flaws, and iterate quickly. Young people who combine these 3 things are actually in a strong position. They grow up with AI, so they use it more naturally than older professionals. We already see 22, 28-year-olds winning freelance contracts because they deliver high-quality hybrid work faster and cheaper than traditional studios.
I run workshops for students in Southeast Asia, and I tell them the same. Treat AI like the most talented intern in the world. Fast, obedient, but lacking judgment and life experience. Your job is to be the boss who gives brilliant direction and adds the final heart. Also, build a personal style early. When everything looks a bit AI-ish, the creators who have a recognizable voice stand out immediately.
Let's touch on a difficult topic, ethics and copyright. Many artists still feel angry that their work was used to train AI models without consent or payment.
This remains one of the most heated debates in 2026. In the European Union, the AI Act updated 2025 requires transparency about training data and gives creators the right to opt out. Japan introduced a compensation fund for artists whose work was scraped. In the US and several Asian countries, however, the legal situation is still unclear. Courts are slow, and big AI companies have strong lawyers. On the positive side, new business models are appearing. Some platforms let artists upload their style and earn royalties whenever someone generates in that style. Others sell ethical models trained only on licensed data. More creators are watermarking work with invisible markers or using glaze nightshade tools to poison datasets. It is messy, but progress is happening.
For me, transparency with clients is the most important thing. I always say, this started with AI generation, but every important decision, mood, composition, cultural accuracy, final brushwork, was made by me. When I am honest, clients respect it more, not less.
Okay, final question. What do creative jobs look like in 2031?
I think the most successful creatives will be like orchestra conductors. They won't play every instrument, but they will know exactly when to bring in strings, when to let percussion take over, and how to make the whole piece feel alive. They will direct multiple AI tools, mix outputs from different models, add handcrafted elements, and tell stories that connect deeply with audiences. Jobs won't vanish. They will become more specialized, more interesting, and for those who adapt, better paid.
I see 3 clear tiers by 2031. Firstly, elite human-led creatives, focused purely on groundbreaking ideas, emotional depth, and cultural innovation. Top art directors, award-winning novelists, visionary film directors. Secondly, expert AI orchestrators, specialists who push generative tools to their absolute limit, creating near-final work in hours instead of weeks. Lastly, hybrid professionals, the majority, people who move fluidly between human intuition and AI efficiency. The biggest losses will be in purely repetitive creative labor. But at the high end, where originality, empathy, and human connection matter most, people will remain irreplaceable.
Liam and Sophia, Thank you for this rich, honest, and forward-looking conversation. It seems AI is not here to end creativity. It is here to redefine it, making room for new kinds of talent while still needing the irreplaceable human spark. Thank you to our viewers. Good night.